You walk into a room and within seconds you are already adjusting it. You pick where to stand, you steer the small talk, you notice who is talking too much, and you cut in lightly, like it's nothing. You tell yourself you just want the meeting to go well. But that isn't the whole want. Under the want for things to go well is a smaller, quieter want, for nothing in the room to happen without passing through you first. That second want is the real one, and it has a cost you will not see until it has already collected. Watch yourself in a group. Someone tells a story and you finish it. Someone makes a plan and you improve it before they've asked. A silence opens and you fill it. None of this looks like control. It looks like being helpful, being sharp, being the one who keeps things moving. That's why it works on you. You get to feel useful while doing the thing. But notice what you feel when you can't do it. When someone else is running the room and doing it well, and there is no gap for you to step into, there's a tightness, a low restlessness. You start looking for the flaw in what they're saying, not because it's wrong, but because you need a door back in. That feeling is the tell. Comfort was never the goal. Position was. Here is what's actually happening. For you, being in control and being safe have quietly become the same thing. Somewhere back, probably early, the room was unpredictable, and the way you survived it was by reading it faster than anyone else and getting ahead of it. That worked. It became who you are. Now every room is scanned the same way. Who has weight here? Where is it moving? How do I get in front of it? You don't decide to do this. It runs on its own, before thought. The consequence shows up in your relationships before you notice it anywhere else. People stop bringing you things half-finished. They wait until it's decided, then tell you, because they've learned that anything unfinished gets taken over. You experience this as them shutting you out. What actually happened is that you trained them. The room learned that near you there is no room. Now the part that turns this. You would expect a person who needs to run every room to be reckless, loud, hungry for the spotlight. Often it's the opposite. The tightest controllers are careful, measured. They speak less than you'd think, because the need to control isn't coming from confidence, it's coming from fear, and fear plays a longer game than ego. Watch a controlled man in a meeting where he holds real power. He doesn't dominate the talk. He lets others commit first. He stays slightly unreadable, gives away little, lets the room guess what he thinks. That isn't calm. That's the same fear, refined. The loud version grabs the room. The quiet version makes the room unable to move without checking him. Same engine, better disguise. And this is the version that costs you the most, because it looks like wisdom. It looks like restraint, so you never question it. Here's how it plays under pressure. A decision goes wrong. A man driven by ego defends himself and moves on. A man driven by this deeper fear can't let it go, because a mistake he didn't control is proof the room can turn on him. So he tightens further. He reviews everything. He starts checking work that was fine. The people around him feel it as distrust and they pull back, and their pulling back confirms the fear that started it. The control created the isolation that made the control feel necessary, and now the cost you actually fear. Not that people will leave, that you will end up in a room you built entirely, where nothing happens without you, where no one surprises you, where every voice already agrees, and you will feel completely alone in it, and you won't understand why, because on paper you won. You have the room. It just doesn't have anyone in it who is still fully there. That's the thing about running every room. It doesn't feel like control from the inside. It feels like vigilance you can't put down. You're not steering, you're bracing. You've mistaken the exhaustion of never being able to relax for the responsibility of being in charge. The man who needs to control every room has never once been safe in one. That is the whole condition, and it never announces itself as fear. It arrives dressed as competence, and it leaves you the last person standing in a quiet you commanded into being.